This video is brought to you by my amazing Patreon supporters. If you'd like to help support the channel and keep it going, consider becoming a Patreon today. Link is in the description below. As a kid born in the mid-80s, Van Damme movies were in constant rotation. I recently revisited some of my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, and I figured what better time to share my top 10 favorite than now. So sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the video. In Timecop, mankind perfects time travel. The Time Enforcement Commission is established to stop criminals who attempt to alter the timeline. A police officer finds his investigation of a senator being thwarted by the government. When his wife is attacked, he must travel across time to rescue her and save the future. Although not my favorite Van Damme movie, there are so many well-choreographed action sequences, despite the lack of a strong villain and dated visual effects. Lionheart follows a soldier in the French Foreign Legion, serving abroad in East Africa. But after his brother is murdered, he deserts his assignment and travels to the US to help his widowed sister-in-law. But the job market is tough, so he takes his hand-to-hand combat skills into the brutal world of bare-knuckle fighting, where the paydays are nearly as big as the risks. Probably the cheesiest Van Damme film on the list. Regardless, I still love it. Lionheart in particular has some fantastic street fighting scenes. Death Warrant follows a detective who goes undercover in a prison to find out why so many prisoners are dying there. He discovers it's all a part of a highly organized and lucrative trade in human organs. And once his cover is blown, it looks as though he is next for the chop. From beginning to end, Death Warrant is an over-the-top prison action flick. The final act in Death Warrant is absolutely insane. Realism be damned. Double Impact has Van Damme play a dual role as Alex and Chad, twins separated at the death of their parents. Chad is raised by a family retainer in Paris, while Alex becomes a petty crook in Hong Kong. Seeing a picture of Alex, Chad rejoins him and convinces him that his rival in Hong Kong is also the man who killed their parents. As the pair plan their payback against them, they also struggle to overcome their personal differences. Double Impact was a personal favorite of mine growing up, and one that I watched over and over again. It's super straightforward and simple, but also paired with some fun action set pieces. This makes Double Impact a standout among Van Damme's filmography. Sudden Death follows an ex-fireman who has a new job working security at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. Hoping to impress his kids, he scored tickets to the Stanley Cup Finals, unaware the place has been taken over by a group of terrorists. An ex-CIA agent played by Powers Booth is holding the vice president hostage in a press box and plans to blow up the building if he doesn't pay the ransom. But when Van Damme learns of his schemes, he jumps into action to save the day. This, in my opinion, is one of Van Damme's more underrated films. Universal Soldier starts off during the Vietnam War. A soldier finds that his superior officer, played by Dolph Lundgren, has turned violently deranged, and the two fight to the death. After their bodies are retrieved, they are placed into a secret program in which they are reanimated and trained to become unquestioning killing machines. While they initially have no memory of their former lives, glimpses of their past start to return, rekindling their conflict. Seeing Lundgren and Van Damme go head-to-head is worth the price of admission alone. Directed by Roland Emmerich, who would later go on to direct Independence Day, this film is appropriately epic. Universal Soldier is pure, unadulterated popcorn fun. Bloodsport follows US soldier Frank Dux Dukes, who has come to Hong Kong to be accepted into the Kumite, a highly secret and extremely violent martial arts competition. While trying to gain access into the underground world of fighters, he also has to avoid military officers who consider him to be AWOL. After enduring difficult training, Frank is given the opportunity to fight. Every time I watch Bloodsport, I have this need to play the original Mortal Kombat. Bloodsport rocks and has some of my favorite fight scenes from the 80s. Cyborg is set in a future ruled by chaos and violence. A mercenary is charged with a mission that could change everything, protecting a cyborg named Pearl Prophet. She holds the cure for a deadly disease that could destroy humanity, and she must get it to scientists in Atlanta. But a warlord fears that his power will be undercut by peace and intends to make sure she never reaches her destination. Cyborg was one of the first Van Damme movies I ever saw, and has remained a favorite of mine. Its darker tone, apocalyptic setting, and true evil villain set it apart from the rest of Van Damme's filmography. Kickboxer follows Eric Sloan, an American kickboxing pro helped by his brother Kurt, played by Van Damme, in his quest for glory. But when the two go to Thailand to take on legendary Tong Po, he viciously beats Eric and leaves him paralyzed. Swearing vengeance, Kurt tracks down Master Choi and begins training, while also getting caught up with crime boss Freddie Lee. Kickboxer was the first Van Damme movie I ever saw. I won't lie, it's high on this list because of nostalgia, but that doesn't mean that Kickboxer isn't a badass film. Hard Target follows Chance, a sailor skilled in martial arts who's hired to guard Natasha as she tracks down her father, a transient Vietnam veteran living in New Orleans. They soon uncover a sinister group of wealthy men who hunt the homeless for sport, paying them $10,000 if they can survive. Chance discovers that Natasha's father was one of their victims and vows vengeance. Seeing this one on the big screen when I was 9 years old was an absolute blast. Not only do we have a glorious Van Damme mullet, but we also have Lance Henriksen as our main baddie. But the biggest wow factor is the incredible direction by John Woo. This was Woo's American film debut, and it's one of the best action movies, period. Which is why Hard Target is my all-time favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. This video was made possible by my lovely Patreon supporters. If you'd like to help support the work I do, become a Patreon today. Link is in the description below. Also, don't forget to leave a like, it helps out the channel a ton. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on so you don't miss a single video. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys on the next video.